This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
All right, folks, what's good? Another episode, Ain't No Seats podcast, and we have a lot to talk about. Yesterday was an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Fun day up until it wasn't. And when it became unfun, it was as brutal as it gets. One of the more frustrating losses, I would say the most frustrating football loss I can remember, up there with like Missouri of 2007, but this one maybe hurt even worse just because of the way it happened. Just so frustrating. And we'll obviously get into all the details, all the thoughts on what went wrong. But B-Turn, I'll start with you. I know that, I mean, you caught shit all week from K-State fans, just lunatic psychos that stalk you. And I'm sure you wanted this maybe more than anyone. But we lose. Where's your head at? How are you handling the loss today?
Yeah, like you said, it was a really fun day. We got there really early, tailgated. It was elite vibes. A lot of people just talking themselves into KU competing before the game. And like you said, I wanted it, but the whole fan base, I mean, it had been 14 years and there hadn't been too many competitive games. So KU, I mean, they were the better team last night. I don't think that's even biased. Like, I think you sit back as a football fan and watch that game, you know, KU was the better team. I think K-State's a good team, and they capitalized on KU's mistakes and had chances to put them away. But yeah, it's tough, man. Felt like KU should have won that game, no question. And yeah, it's been since 2008, so it hurts. And I don't know. It was a fun day, and that was one of the best atmospheres I've seen at the booth in my lifetime. That might sound prisoner of the moment-ish, but I'm telling you, I'm lining up 30 minutes before the game to go in, and the lines are crazy long, and it felt like you'd look inside the stadium and all the seats are pretty much already full, and it was electric. The booth was great. The crowd couldn't have been better. So it was an awesome night. If they would have won, it would have been all time. But yeah, that it was deflating after the game, and KU was a better team and they should have won that game.
Yeah. AB, what are your initial takeaways? I know this game always means a ton to you. Where are you at?
It was so sad. I'm still so sad, and I've been telling you guys I wasn't going to predict KU. And I never did. And then they got up 11 and seemed to be in control of the game, and I started to buy in. I started to believe too much, and of course it just comes crumbling right back down. It was just like you guys said, the way it happened. The atmosphere there was so much juice, more than I expected coming into the week when we were talking about a Cole Ballard versus K-State matchup, but like, you could tell the place was fired up, and then it just, how fast it unfolded and how it happened. It really was a gut punch. It was like, what can we do for a team that we just never beat, and it seems everything's going our way, and one thing goes wrong, and it's just like, cool, we got to live with it for another year and probably another 2, but we'll see.
It was, I mean, first, yeah, let's start on just how awesome the environment was. It's been a while. I don't even remember the last time we had a night game there that meant something. You know, we had like the Friday night, opening night, those games, and I guess Illinois too. But with that, it wasn't dark as early. Like, I don't know. It was just awesome. The black uniforms, student section filled to the absolute max. And I'll be honest, obviously K-State always travels well and there's always a good amount, but like, they had nothing compared to what they usually do. Like, that was a very, very much packed stadium because of Kansas fans for the most part. Like, that was incredible. The atmosphere for kickoff was just awesome. And I mean, I've never seen right from the jump, I was starting to get like 2019 vibes of like, the atmosphere is incredible to go. We kick off, and they just drive it right down our throats and score. Like, I think it took 1 minute and 15 seconds, and it was kind of like, uh-oh. You're sitting around like, are we going to do what we always do here? But
then we punted, right?
Yeah, then we punted.
They had the ball.
this could get out of control fast. But I guess what I wanted to say on what you were saying, AB, is like it felt like not only throughout the entire week, and maybe this was just me drinking at the tailgate and having a few more drinks, but it was like it felt as long. The more the tailgate went on, it even was kind of like vibes were changing. People were like, "We can win." Like I think there were rumors that Bean was going to start. All of a sudden, it's like, "Oh yeah, we can win this game. We're going to win this game." Like even like I didn't feel like K-State fans were that crazy confident. They were scared to death, a lot of them. So it was like the vibes were so strong going into the game, and they were strong up until they weren't. So I guess let's talk about the first half. We get down early, we punt. I don't even really remember what happens, but then Devin Neal just does Devin Neal things and gets us on the board at 7-7. I don't know, B-Turn, where were you at from that point? So after they obviously come down, they score, we're terrified that we're going to get blown out, but then we come back out, we stop them, Devin Neal scores, and it kind of just, you started to relax a little bit, and it was like, okay, we're going to compete, this is going to be a good game. Where were you at that point? Were you still confident?
Yeah, well, I wanted to touch on the pregame vibes real quick because I wanted to talk about that too, and it's definitely the fan in us. But I don't know what it was, dude. But I could just feel it. Like I knew it was going to be a game going into that building, and that shows you how confident we are in the staff and how they're going to compete every week, no matter who they play. But yeah, I was just talking to my dad before, like we're just sitting there in the game, and I was like, it's going to be a good game. Like I really legit think they can win this game. But yeah, Devin Neal, I mean, unbelievable. Like he's maybe the best. I mean, we've had some guys. Puka was really good. James Sims was really good. John Randall, but Devin Neal's maybe the best KU back I've personally ever watched. I know we've had some legends in the past, but he's unbelievable. I mean, the 30-yard touchdown was going to be a no gain. He scores, obviously. There's multiple gains or looking like a negative gain. He turns it into something. I felt so good. Up 11, especially, like the fan in me is sitting there literally telling myself, like, we can maybe open this game up. Or I saw you tweeting about like, KU could potentially blow them out here if things go our way before the Rich Miller thing. But the fan in me is sitting there saying, like, we could go up 3 scores here and we're just going to dominate this rivalry for the next 10, however long Lance Leipold's here. I'm like, oh, we're better. Like, but yeah, I felt good going into halftime. I don't think you could have asked for more out of Cole Ballard going into half. I think he was 8 for 10, just game managing, and Devin Neal was great. The Wildcat was working with Lachlan. Lachlan's a former QB, so I thought they might pull out a pass from him or something, but the Wildcat was effective. We were running on them effectively. I think they had close to 250 on the ground, so offense really did whatever they wanted there for the first, I know we're talking about the first half, but the first 32 minutes of the game. So, yeah, I felt really good, and I thought the defense was really good too. They got scored on early, but they, like they've done all year, they get the key stops. And I don't know, I saw some people tweeting mean things about the defense last night. I thought they were awesome. Will Howard didn't do much. DJ Giddens and Trayshawn Ward had busted a couple runs, but I thought the defense was really solid, and they gave us every chance in the world to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it in the first half, the play that really like, guys, we're all at halftime, we're sitting there talking, the play that everyone was talking about is the hold on 4th and 3. And the thing that sucked so much about that call was there's 7 minutes left in the first half, or like 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half. We're about to get the ball up. What were we up at that point? We were in 9. What was it?
9. 13-9.
13-9. And yeah, we're about to get the ball and run it down. Like we could have, which we did, by the way. We got the ball after they scored and put together just a 7-minute long drive to make it 20-16 at half. But if you just don't call that hold and we get that ball right back and do that same thing, we are up 20-9 at half. And then we come out at the very start of the second half, and it's 27-9. Like that holding call, and we made way too many mistakes for this game to be blamed on officiating. But that was a massive, massive swing. I don't care what you say. The impact that had on the first half was massive, and it was just a bad call.
Yeah, so, I mean, we scored on 3 of 4 drives in the first half. We punted on the first drive, and then they go 11 play, 82 yards, 6 minutes, 8 play, 76 yards, 4 minutes, 13 play, 75 yards, 7 minutes. So that's 17 minutes. They had the ball like 18-ish minutes in the first half. Yeah, and the offense
dominating time of possession,
and that's what you had to do, because obviously K-State's really good up front on offense, and they can just gas you in the run game. So you got to string together long drives with the young quarterback, and it's got to finish in points. And they were doing that in the first half. They scored on 3 straight drives, and Ballard was actually making throws. He made one deep on the sideline to Grimm. He was good on his feet too, here and there. But yeah, coming out of the second half, they roll out left and they throw it back to, I think it was Fairchild or whoever it was, runs it inside the 5, and I'm sitting there like, this staff has this defense figured out. Like, that's 4 consecutive touchdown drives against K-State's defense. It was obviously really good. They're good against the run. They've been so much better lately as the year goes on. So 4 straight drives, and then just, nothing after that. And I thought we had just figured them out. Like, it was 27-16. I think K-State had it at their own 10, had them backed up, and didn't score. We didn't score a point after that touchdown drive.
Yeah. So AB, before we talk about where things start to unravel, where were you at halftime? Like, I'll be honest, I was kind of like Ethan, like, felt like Kotelnicki's game plan was 100% working, and my big thought was like, okay, if we can come out in the second half and show that the offense is still working, then I really, really feel good about this. And we did. Obviously, that was wrong, but like, where were you at halftime? Did you feel like we were going to win that game?
I thought I felt pretty good because, like Braiden just said, we went 3 consecutive possessions scoring pretty easily. So I felt good scoring again at a half, being up, 11 points with however long left. I mean, we scored quickly, so quite a bit of time. But, I felt confident. They just looked really good. And on defense, they were getting enough stops. It was typical KU where it's like, they're not going to hold anyone to 10 points. But they're going to get enough stops, make enough plays to keep you in a game, keep you competitive, and not be like a glaring reason that you lost. So, I felt really good. And then, I guess we can get into the sad part. But
well, and so they scored with 13:28 left. So,
it was only like a 3-play drive, right?
30. And then the defense gets a 3 and out. And then I'm like, all right, we're going to win this game. We're going to blow them out. This game's over. And I think they punted. It was like a short punt, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
We got it at like the 45-yard line.
Yeah, so prime field position. If you go on a drive there, another long sustained drive where you kill 5 minutes again or whatever, even if you get points, don't get points at all. But they ended up going 3 and out. Yeah, it was 26-yard punt. Went out of bounds at the 42, and then we went 3 and out. But Ryan, I don't even think I answered your last question, which is just so typical of me. I'm just sitting here rambling. You asked about the 4th and 3, and I wanted to ask AB because you watched on TV. Right before that, they called a timeout, but the Twitter streets were saying that DJ Giddens or whoever it was false started well before the timeout. And I don't know if that's KU fans or what. But if he did, it obviously would have been 4th and 8. They would have been kicking a 43-yarder. I don't think you go for it there on 4th and 8. Regardless, I don't know if you can answer that. I just still haven't seen a great replay on the hold either.
There's definitely a movement.
Very ticky-tacky.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement, but so much other stuff happened that I haven't thought about it a lot since. But I was saying the same thing when it happened. Like, no, he definitely jumped before they blew the whistle and called timeout. Like, what are we talking about here? And I think the play clock was running down too. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I watched a lot of football this weekend, but it could have been where like they just like expected it because the play clock was at 0, so they started moving, but then they got a timeout before. That might have been a different game, but it looked very strange. It didn't look natural, and it made me question it in the moment.
Yeah, I seen a little replay, and obviously the old booth that we love, the Jumbotron, there's like black splashes in the thing, and then they'll do this thing where they show 9 different boxes of
replay. The worst replay review
that you can't. like it would be like looking at your own phone from like
I would
1,000 miles
legitimately get
away.
better replay using my phone camera to record every single game and then going back and watching the last play.
But I went out later. I saw my family after the game, and my cousin was just going nuts about that hold. Which I'm not blaming the refs for that game like whatsoever. It felt ticky tacky, but he was just so adamant that I've been wondering if it was like egregious or I don't know. It just felt like a drive where K-State getting 7 felt very fortunate because that throw by Will Howard on the hold was 10 yards over his head. I don't know about the false start, but that would have been kicking a long field goal. College kicker, and if he misses, KU gets the ball to 30 or whatever. But yeah, them getting 7 points there just kind of felt crazy.
Yeah, it was brutal. But then you turn around and we recover well. We scored in the half. We score right out of the gates, like we said. They make the short punt. We go 3 and out, and then we got to talk about and I don't want to be. I really don't want this to. I don't even want to talk about the actual player because the guy is a legend and I feel awful for him that it happened, like that he didn't make the catch and make the play. I know he feels worse than anybody, but I think that dropped pick 6 is like a butterfly effect moment. Like we could look back 10 years from now being like, if we just catch that pick 6, we win. We've won the last 10 years. And that's being so dramatic, by the way. Yeah. But I'm telling you, the game is over. He had nobody around him. I mean,
he could have ran.
Me and you that's like our section. Like we are right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was already celebrating the touchdown. Like that's how obvious it was that it was such a bad throw. Miller read it perfectly. And that ball, it was in stride, I think. I don't know. I haven't even watched it.
No, it was. Like he was running if he's running a route and Will Howard literally times it perfectly.
Yeah.
He
has 10 yards, I think, right? And there's not a
oh my God. There. It wasn't he could have called.
He's still running right now.
It's 34 to 16.
Booth collapses. Old Booth. You don't even have to take it down.
It would have been an all-time moment, any sports moment, like for KU fans to be in that environment for that to happen because we had the momentum and that would have freaking put us up 34 to 16. And I'm sorry, K-State at that point, they're punting the ball 25 yards. They are throwing picks to our linebackers. They were not recovering from that moment. They were up. It was 30. It would have been 34 to 16. And I promise you, KU wins that game. And I'm not so sure that KU just doesn't end up winning that game handily at that point.
Yeah.
Because
that would have rivaled for loudest the Booth has ever been. We would have been up 3 scores. K-State gets the ball right back. Crowd would have been going nuts. And it's just, I don't know about you guys. It could just be KU football scars, but you're just sitting there just feeling like, how are they going to lose this game? Like, what's going to happen next?
And then the next play, 50-yard run.
Yeah, Trayshawn Ward, 50-yard run. And then once he drops that, you're like, well, we're up 11. K-State's going to go score. So and then after that, it just felt like what's gonna go wrong now? What's gonna go wrong now? And obviously we're gonna get into Trevor Wilson, but even when he starts sprinting towards that punt full speed, like in my head, I'm telling myself like he's gonna drop this.
Yeah,
he's running full speed, 15 yards up to go catch a punt, and I just
at midfield. Like who cares if that ball lands and runs out? Even if they get a perfect bounce, who cares? You're still gonna be at the 40, 35 at the worst. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Who cares? That's anything but the defense coming back on the field. Austin Booker had one of the craziest get-offs ever off the edge on that drive. Get a sack. And it's 3rd and 17. We get off the field. They punt it. Muff. Defense has to come right back off after Guff getting a huge stop. The crowd's going crazy. K-State's gifted a short field. We get you let it bounce. Go to the fucking 1-yard line. Who cares? It would have been close to midfield. And maybe it bounces backwards and we get it at the K-State's 30. I don't know. But, I mean, even if you go 3 and out, you literally gift K-State short field and you give them the momentum back. Even the PAT, I know that's not crazy, but like that's momentum shit. You score to go up 14-7, kick it, return it. That's a 3-point swing. Like we're down 4 late in the game. I'm not saying it would have played out like this, but what if we were down 1 late in the game because of that 3-point swing? And
I'll tell you how it played out, Braiden. They wouldn't have gone for 2 in the second half, and it would have been a tie game. So yeah, we lost by 4, and that was a 3-point swing. But it also changes game script. K-State's not going for 2 on a touchdown, which they got. So instead of it being, 31-27, it's 28-28.
A PAT that they take to the house, and it's like people don't act like that's like the biggest deal in the world, and maybe it's in my head.
Happens.
Yeah, maybe it's in my head, but it felt like the booth was. I mean, it would have been so much louder and crazier there on defense. It felt like everyone was like, God, we always do this shit against K-State. Like it wasn't that loud for that possession. Now I'm not saying that possession like changed the game, but it's like that's 3 free points. Like you're gifting them.
Yeah.
So it's just like so many momentum swings because like if you get the ball on that Trevor Wilson punt, even if you go 3 and out, maybe you pin K-State inside the 10. But no, you give them the ball right by midfield. Their stupid purple fans are going nuts, and they have all the momentum, and they're like, here's KU again. They're good. K-State players get the confidence back. They get the ball at midfield. They go score. It's like, catch that punt. Your defense is going nuts, and they get rest on the field. Now they got to come right back, and of course K-State's going to go score. So it's like, how can you even be mad at the defense there?
Every mistake we made, K-State immediately capitalized. The pick 6, they immediately score like 3 plays later. And the dropped punt, they scored very quickly. And then they block PATs happen, but you don't turn them into 2 points very often. Like to turn that in from a 1-point swing to a 3-point swing, that matters. Just like AB laid out with the script and everything. Like it's just crazy. In K-State made some mistakes too. Will Howard threw a pick, but like we didn't then capitalize on them. And that was the difference between us winning and losing was our mistakes. The pick 6 is a 14-point swing. The PAT is a 3-point swing, and the drop punt, at the very 14? Most, it's a 7, or at the very least, it's like 7, right?
You could view it as like a 5-minute swing or something. Like the worst case, we kill off some time and punt it, and then they have to go 87 yards instead of 47 yards. Like, we got to stop talking about this, man. I'm so upset.
So,
right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, let's talk home field, and we can wrap up K-State talk and then get into some exciting talk, Maui or Honolulu, Kansas basketball. But we got to talk home field. A lot of home field merch yesterday at the tailgate. People are loving the home field stuff. So if you're not rocking home field yet, what are you doing? It's perfect time to go buy a hoodie. Perfect time to go buy a crew neck. My fiance loves the hoodies, loves the shirts. You gotta go check out home field. Their Black Friday sale is coming up. Oh, I gotta pull this up. Oh no, I'm unprepared. We've got their Black Friday deal. So you're gonna go to homefieldapparel.com, but Black Friday sale starts November 17th. It ends November 26th, so it's already started. 20% off the entire site with code Black Friday. This is the biggest discount they're going to offer all year, so you should not miss out. Like I said, go get a hoodie, use that code, use it for gifts, whatever you got to do. Items are subject to sellout. We recommend ordering as early as possible so the warehouse and shipping carriers have plenty of time to get shirts out for the holiday season. So we love them. We've been talking about them all year. Go support home field and get their stuff. Black Friday sale again ends November 26th, 20% off. Shout out home field. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
All right, so to wrap up this game that I never want to speak about ever again, I don't even know. Like, where do we truly go from here? I mean, to look at the positives, we've already said it. The booth was an environment that we've all never really seen. I guess, yeah, you go back to the Orange Bowl years and things like that, but we were in middle school. I didn't take all that type of stuff in as much as I do now, but it's like you could just feel how far this program has come. And we were the better team on the field. I don't care what anyone says, and this will be petty, but like if Jalon Daniels plays in that football game, we smoke that team. Like if we are just healthy all year, we dominate K-State. And so we are the gap, as Lance is saying, is closing. I think it's closed more than he's willing to even say, but it's a brutal loss. It's one that will haunt you forever because it was storybook to go out in that building with a win, destroy that thing, but always knowing that it ended on such a high note. But honestly, it's kind of fitting that it ended on just such a dark, miserable note. So I don't know. What else do you guys have anything else before we try and get this back going on a more positive note? Because this will be 2 episodes in a row where vibes are so down.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back pretty tough losses. Games that I felt KU was better in and had chances to put Tech away, and then K-State obviously just made mistakes. And like I said, KU was the better team, but K-State's a damn good team, and good teams take advantage of other teams' mistakes. That's literally what they did. Like we gifted them that many opportunities. Defense kept getting stops, and they finally took advantage and obviously won the game. But yeah, I go back and forth because obviously we should have won, but then you sit there and think like, and I'm not just trying to be positive because of the pod and KU fans, but the stat, like a freshman, preferred walk-on freshman is obviously on scholarship, and we're sitting here saying that like we should have beat K-State, team that won the Big 12 title last year. Like it's so much better than the alternative where we used to get on here and talk about losing 63-10 in Waco. So I know it sucks because we should have won and we were the better team, but it's crazy how good this staff is and how quickly they've closed the gap and how competitive they are every single week. The only blowout is Texas, and that was a game late. And I just can't wrap my head around losing all 3 of the Big 12 losses outside of Texas. Like 1 and 2 seems so doable. 2 and 1, like the fact that they lost all 3 where it felt like they were probably the better team in 2 or maybe 3 of those games just seems wild to me. And it's so crazy how close this team is to being like 9-2 or 10-1 and what you could start thinking about if they were healthy the entire year.
I'm telling you, this season is just going to be one you look back on as it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't our time. Injuries killed us, but it's going to be the season that laid the groundwork again on top of what they did last year to next year with the Jalon news, him coming back. That team's going to be so good. Definitely.
One other thing, though, like we talked off air last week, right after we recorded, about how confident we would be if Jalon was like far and away the only QB on the roster next year. I do feel a lot better about Cole Ballard going into next year's backup.
Yeah.
So like that's one positive I'll take. He's not lighting the world on fire with the stats, but he's more like the moxie he has. He's not afraid to take a hit, go flying. He literally did a flip at the 5-yard line yesterday. Like, and then he just gets back up and he's looking over with his baby face, and he's like, "All right, what's next, coach?" Like, yeah, I like him a lot, and I don't want us when we keep saying like 3rd string preferred walk-on quarterback. I don't want that to come off as a slight to him, but I mean, it also is the reality of the situation that an 18-year-old was playing quarterback for us yesterday. But my point positive is that like I do feel very comfortable with him as a backup. I don't think that needs to be live on like go die on a hill to find a backup quarterback or someone that you're going to want to come in and it's probably going to play like 4 games next year. If we're just being honest, because I know it's an easy thing to say for us to be, oh, if we were healthy, we would have been awesome. You know, we could have had 10 wins. We could have been in a New Year's 6 game. And that all might be true. I'm just not going to like get myself to believe that a college football team is going to be close to healthy for a full season. That just doesn't happen very often. Maybe we don't realize it on the ins and outs because we haven't really had a team worth following for the last 15 years when we got super deep into like the X's and O's and who's playing, who's not, and it's not just a team that we like. So I think next year we probably all be better off if we didn't go in like, well, JD's healthier. So-and-so's back, and he's going to be back. He's going to play 12 games. I don't think that's like a realistic expectation to have. So to wrap this all up, Ballard, I like you, guy. You're an awesome backup.
Yeah.
gamer,
Thanks for
absolute gamer, and I feel bad. I feel bad for him because, like we said, we have a couple things go the other way. He's a legend forever, but he may end up being a legend when it's all said and done. If Jalon comes, but even if Jalon is fully healthy next year, Ballard's the guy in 2 years. Or, I'm sure a lot can happen between now. But this dude, there's still a lot that Cole Ballard could do at Kansas, and this is a great sign to see him step into just an unreal spot for a freshman quarterback. So,
and that's a guy that probably didn't expect to play a single snap this year, and he plays the majority of the Tech game, and he plays every snap pretty much against K-State. And the staff could win with a lot of QBs. That's how good they are. Like, they're just running gimmicky plays and had a chance to go up 3 scores. They're running the Wildcat with Torrey Laughlin, and the staff is so good. But AB, I totally agree with the injury thing. And the other thing is, how hard is it just to win a football game? Like a tight football game where it's a 1-possession game in the fourth quarter, it's tied. Coin flip game. That's three of our losses. Like, it's just so hard to win. So we'll have Big 12 title hopes next year. Obviously, we're going to be as good as any team in the league. I truly believe that. But it's just like, it's so hard. Like, that's why I give credit to some of the best, these like Nick Saban, obviously, and some of the best coaches. They go 11-1, 12-0 every year, and it's like a disappointment if they go 10-2. Like, how hard is it to go a full season not losing a game, staying injury free, getting lucky, winning coin flip games? Like, it's just so hard to win football games. I think, like, even with the Chiefs, I think we take Andy Reid for granted sometimes. Like, he has had a winning season every year in Kansas City. So it's so hard to win games, and it just shows you this year, the Oklahoma State, Tech, and K-State games, why couldn't we have won all 3, and we lost all 3?
Yeah, and really the only coin flip one we won was OU. So it's like, in those games, we went 1-3, but
I got, I think, one more question on the K-State game. I think I know what you guys will answer, and it's really not, it wasn't terrible, but 4th and 5 late, did you guys agree to go for it there? Or did you think they should kick it, maybe let the defense? Yeah, I think so too.
we didn't see the ball again.
Exactly. And think about how frustrated we are if we kick a field goal there and lose by 1 point.
In no offense to the special team staff that we have right now, but I'm not going to feel comfortable with that unit kicking 2 separate field goals, regardless if they were 20 yards, 40 yards, whatever. We're kind of in the mentality where there is no chip shot. I mean, we saw an extra point blocked earlier in the game. What's saying that doesn't happen again? So I think that was, and especially the way the game was going, you just kind of had to expect that was the last time you're going to get the ball.
And K-State's built for that. Like, they're built to just run it down your throat, grind the clock away exactly like they did. So it was like the most brutal way to go out, just slowly losing and dying as the clock ticks away. But it would have been even worse if we kicked the field goal and never saw the ball back.
Yeah.
Either way, it was miserable.
One more question. I don't know how good. I can't imagine the replay was great at the stadium. If they called that 3rd down and 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, whatever K-State had that really iced the game, they reviewed it, and look,
a lot of people said incomplete.
There was definitely movement, but I'm not going to lie, there was no time where you could see like the hand disconnect from the ball, even when the ball was moving, and apparently that means something. I don't know the exact rule. I've been watching football for almost 30 years now and still don't know what the fuck a catch is, but that's beside the point. I think if they call it incomplete on the field, they can't change it to complete. Like, it was just one of those, whatever they called on the field, it was just going to stand. You can't really change it. But that was also, that felt unfair. It really, really did, to just like, because that was like with the clock where it was at and everything, and we only had one timeout we were going to have to use.
Why did we have to use? I didn't get that.
There was over 2 minutes left. That new rule that the clock doesn't stop. Which
I thought he was but I thought he caught it. Oh, I guess out of bounds.
Even if he goes,
still goes. Yeah.
So
that was one of those classic B-turn walking out of the stadiums and then looking up because I saw they were about to review, and I swore that ball was moving. And you can't get it on Twitter, obviously, with the old cell phone service, but
my cell phones were working like fantastic in the booth, but yeah.
So a lot of people, at least on Twitter, KU fans, of course, I don't know how much that means, but they thought it was incomplete, and but maybe you couldn't change it. There wasn't enough evidence.
Yeah, but yeah, and I prefaced that I had Alan texted me, and I think Cole texted me too. Were asking if it was a catch, like what it looked like, and I opened up with, "Look, we are desperate people right now. This is literally our only chance to win this game, as if this is incomplete. It looks like the ball's moving, but I don't fucking know, dude." Like we were in the mindset, and I think we probably all recognized it, but we were gonna say anything to try and bend it to make it favor KU.
Yeah,
It was just such false hope. Do you guys think we score there? Do you guys think we go down and get set?
But I wanted my hopes up.
I wanted to have a chance, because you know who didn't think we were going to get a touchdown with 2 minutes left against Oklahoma? This guy. I thought there was no chance with how Jason Bean had played the 2 possessions prior. And then he just goes and fucking does it. I just wanted the chance.
I know we scored like 4 straight touchdown drives, but that's kind of like the 4th and 5 why I kind of debated it. Like even before we went, I know I'm obviously not the head coach. I don't make the decisions, but I just feel like we've struggled so much in the red zone. And I know you can look at it as like we probably wouldn't have had another chance to even get the ball back or score again. But I just felt like it's been so tough for the offense to get in the end zone with Ballard. I know they scored 4 straight drives, but that's why part of me wanted to kick it. And not getting any points, I know it's easy to say this now, but maybe it's a little deflating to the whole team. They could have got a stop no matter what, but I know they might have not got the ball. It just after the it's easy to say this stuff after the fact. That play just drove me crazy because just no one obviously had a chance. It kind of looked like Grimm was open for first down past the sticks, but it's tough to be mad at Ballard because if you read off his stat line or tell you what he's going to do before the game, you're going to take that all day. The first pick was tough because we would have punted it 3rd and 13 and he threw it into quadruple coverage. So that one was tough. The second one, you just had to get rid of it because it's 4th. But yeah, I couldn't ask for much more from Ballard. KU was a better team. They should have won, and they gift wrapped that game to K-State. I know they took advantage of our mistakes, so good for them. But they gift wrapped that game. Like KU was a better team. They should have won, and it sucks. Like we got to go to Manhattan next year. I hope we win, but hard as it's
sweet revenge for Jalon Daniels to go in and end that streak in Manhattan after what that insane fan base has done. Has done to that guy.
I know we got to get an ad read. I'd like to talk about that a little bit at least.
What's more to talk about? I mean, they got dunked on all week when it came to the Jalon stuff. But
more of a whole picture of this, to where we might just have to retire fighting those idiots online. They're impossible to even talk to.
They're weirdos. And look, they're both. Yeah, we have weirdos.
KU is bad, but like it was so insane. Something
weird.
They were saying after
they're quoting Jalen's video, being like, "This guy's done nothing." Like
you guys are the one that wanted him to say something, clear the air. I can't tell you how many times I saw fucking K-State accounts. We like, oh, if he's not hurt, why didn't he say something? If he's not transferring, why didn't he just say he's not transferring? And then he did it, and it was the worst thing he's ever done, and he's getting trashed for that.
But he didn't have a Jayhawk. He didn't have a Jayhawk in the video, so he's all about himself. He's
not a good quarterback. No way. He was leaving, but now he's not good.
Yeah, he didn't say he's coming back and rock chalk at the end, but no Jayhawk on him. So you know what? That's what we're going to
broken their brains. I mean,
they were claiming he was going to go start at a powerhouse D1 football program, but now he's not good. He hasn't done anything. And they brought his Big 12 record up, and we're running with that all week when he played for a fucking head coach that had.
Wasn't a great coach. We'll leave it at that. All right.
His Big 12 record went
down this road.
It's insane.
JD talk about Jalon Daniels and the revenge he's going to get on K-State next year, and I can't wait. And I will be in that building, and it's going to be fantastic. So, AB,
yes,
why don't you knock out an ad read so we can talk a little hoops?
Well, we didn't feel it last night, boys, but there is so much to be thankful for. There's family, friends, food, and NFL football all weekend long. DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping your Thanksgiving week full of action, and new customers can bet just $5 on the NFL action to score $150 in instant bonus bets. No matter your appetite, there's something for you. Money lines, parlays, props, live bets, and so much more. You name it, they got it. It's the best sports week of the year. I've always said this. I don't know what the lines are right now, but I know that there's college basketball a week, NFL football a week, there's rivalry with college football, Ohio State, Michigan. There's so much going on. So make sure you get on DraftKings, download the app, use code KCSN. New customers can bet $5 on NFL Thanksgiving action to score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, with code KCSN. The ground is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, must be 21 years or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at DraftKings.sportsbook.com/football terms. Boys, I need to drink water.
DraftKings. But I have breaking news.
Women.
And it'll make you guys giggle a little bit. Nothing big, but it'll be funny. The Missouri Tigers basketball team just lost to 1-5 Jackson State.
Oh, no. Is Deion's coaching?
What?
Deion coached Jackson State football last year. Keep up. Come on. Come on. Come on.
309 team in Ken Palm, according to Nick.
There's only 362 in the country.
Wow. I mean, that's bad.
That's
play them in, what do we play in 3 weeks? December 9th in Allen Fieldhouse?
Man.
So.
Is it?
Yeah. On the basketball.
Or is it T-Mobile?
It's
Gulf State.
I do like to. I want to talk about that. I thought that was starting. No, it's at Allen, but I thought there were neutral games in that too.
That all got screwed up because of COVID. I think those are coming in a few years.
Well, I was hoping that we could have another 10-minute conversation about a game that we think's on a neutral site and then it not be on a neutral site like we did last week with the Houston game in Mexico.
We thought the Big 12 title was going to be decided.
Yeah. The worst part of it was it literally was the last sentence on the article I had pulled up for 10 minutes, reading to you guys that in 2024, KU and Houston were playing in Mexico City just to refuse to end or read the final part of it.
Yeah. But, well, speaking of playing in different destinations, the Hawks about to play in not Maui. They're playing in Honolulu, which is just going to, I mean, obviously awful.
Ruin the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, what happened in Maui's terrible, and it just sucks even more for Maui that they don't get to host this tournament. But obviously, it'll be back. It'll be great. But this will just feel like a weird Maui. I don't know what the environment's going to be like. Nick just commented like the Maui rims always have an impact on games.
T-Rob mural.
The murals in the background. I remember Wayne Selden just clanking in some threes that bounced all over the rim. The Maui
City tournament that year.
That gym just hits different. Yeah, we beat Vandy.
We beat Vandy.
Championship game.
I think we blew out UCLA in the semis.
Took down Chaminade, a bad UCLA team, and a Vanderbilt team to win that title.
Hey, woo!
Dayton,
2020, Kansas. Dayton, Kansas, one of the best Kansas regular season games, like non-con we've seen in a long time. So, this Maui stacked.
What do you guys think about people that say that KU doesn't have shooters, or they'll say like we don't have the guard play? First off, we're like a couple games into the season. Second off, I can think of teams 2020 didn't have shooters. We've claimed that team's national champion. I know they're really good defensively. I think this team can be. It's just crazy. Like I feel like we sometimes get spoiled because Bill Self will always have a better team in the past, no matter what. Like they're going to get compared to other teams, but this team, when you have a lead guard that's that good, you got a National Player of the Year candidate, you got a guy that's been around for like 5 years in Kev that just defends and plays hard. Like you got those three, you're going to be good. KJ obviously too, but what do you guys think when people say stuff like that?
I send them when I get a text from a non-KU fan asking about shooters, I just send a picture of DeJuan Harris. He's Reggie Miller. That was unbelievable on Tuesday, dude.
No, it's crazy. That was like Sharon against OU in like 2009. Like
it just kept coming, and none of them hit rim.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And then even like it was such a heat check when he shot it after the whistle and just drained that one. Like that's why we all and we got all-time power move by DeJuan to post on his Instagram story, like, I'll shoot when I need to. And then he quite literally needs to and just goes nuclear. Like, it was such a power move by him and just shows, like you said, B-Turn, we've got gamers, we've got DeJuan, we've got Kevin. We saw how McCullough could help you. I mean, McCullough could play bad in a game, and he wins you a game in the final minute. You love him. He just had the most quiet triple-double of all time. But the thing about the shooters, it is a concern, but the way people are putting it off is like, oh, we don't have a shooter, so we can't win. Like you said, we had to rely on Isaiah Moss to be a shooter in 2020, and he did. Like, you're telling me we don't have Nick Timberlake. It's been a rough start. It's been a rough
But it's November. That's like that's still college basketball.
In a conference, like, Nick Timberlake's not just going to never improve. He's learning to play at the Big 12 level with a coach that's far above what he's ever played for.
Can I ask a question to him?
Yeah.
Is he going to have a rotational spot by conference play? Because you know who else is going to get better and probably at a more rapid pace are the two 18-year-olds they have on the bench, Furphy and I guess El Marco starts. But, I mean, in the first half, Timberlake played like 8 minutes. He was a minus 20. And plus
yeah, I mean,
it doesn't make sense. And I'm not, again, it's early, it's November. I was making fun of you for saying it's November basketball and then starting to have concerns. And I was really fucking around just to loosen up the mood a little bit for a November basketball game. Yeah. But I like watching it. I don't know. We all love Furphy a lot. We all have heard insane things about El Marco. We're not looking for a guy that's going to have to go out and score 20. We're just looking for like literally a fifth or sixth option to come in and do things. And I'm not convinced that's him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we always talk about Bill and his rotation. It's never going to be more than like 8. So you're going to have Parker just because you need a backup big, and then Furphy, El Marco, Timberlake. That's 9 right there. So one of those guys could be left out, and he already made it clear that before the season, even that Furphy's going to play major minutes. He already has. Like, I think Friday night against Manhattan, he had like the second most field goal attempts on the team. I know it was a blowout, but. And then El Marco, that's guys that you need to go pro or that need to produce because it helps you get 5 stars in the future. So yeah, I don't know if they'll play 9, but I guess if they do need shooters. So in Timberlake's experience, he'll have to guard. Like if he doesn't start locking up defensively, I don't know how much he's going to play because what's he going to provide over El Marco? Just because El Marco's such a gamer. And they have high hopes for him. He's supposed to be a first rounder and a pro, and he guards and competes. So I don't know what he's going to do better than him.
Yeah, we'll see. It has not been good for Timberlake so far. Furphy, we all love Furphy, and I hope we come out of this and it is El Marco and Furphy because that to me is our highest ceiling. But we've seen it with freshmen under Self, like. A lot of times they do just get buried in the bench. Like if they're not ready, and I think I loved how you could even see Bill yelling about El Marco. Like, I can't trust him. Like, Bill just has a hard time trusting younger players. Now, Timberlake hasn't grown up in Bill Self's system, so he's probably going to struggle to trust him too. But we've got to find a guy that can make open shots and actually be a threat. And I just feel like Timberlake, I don't know. We argued about Timberlake this summer where I said I think Timberlake could play, and you guys were like, no chance. It's going to be.
No, I think Timberlake's going to have some big games this year. Like, he's athletic. He can shoot it. Like, I think he'll have a night where he comes in and hits 4 or 5 threes, and his experience will be huge. So I do think he's going to play. Like, and it's not like El Marco's doing anything special right now either. Maybe Timberlake will eventually start. I don't know. Like, or maybe El Marco's better coming off the bench, like as a spark. I don't know. I think Timberlake will play and he's going to hit big shots. I really do think he's a good player. It's November. People are already trying to tell me that this team can't win a national title because they don't have shooters or guard play. So it's just insane.
The guard play thing to me is just objectively wrong. Like what?
Yeah.
What? Like, no,
No.
Like that's my reaction. What are we talking about? We have like one of the best point guards in the country, and that's like what wins in March. Like that's a very common thing to say. So to say
and by the way, Kevin McCullough is a guard.
Yeah.
And he had a
oh yeah.
double.
That's my thing. And Ryan, it's upset me with you a couple times when you're like, well, it can't be Furphy and McCullough. Like, I don't know if Furphy can play the 2. McCullough can play the 2. There was one.
But,
what do you?
Yeah, and
I guess I don't view it as a 2 and a 3 being different positions. I view it as point guard, 2 wing, and then I guess this year it's different with our big situation. But I mean, I guess a stretch and then
especially since Bill has shifted to this like 3 wing kind of bigger wing model. So yeah, I'm probably wrong on that. I'm still just, to me, it just looks right with DeJuan out there with an El Marco. I still love the 2 good ball handlers out on the floor playing for Bill. But yeah, the national title team didn't really have that. I guess who was the second best ball hand? Jalon was nice because he could handle the ball pretty well and kind of play the small 4. Ochai obviously was fine handling the ball in CB too. So those guys were all just great players. These guys took a while. What?
Was Remy good in that tournament?
Decent.
Can I throw a comp out there for Nick Timberlake in terms of minutes and maybe production wise? Brandon Green. Minutes, like role wise. I'm not saying he's definitely not as wet as Brandon Green was, but as a role, I have it pulled up right now. Freshman year, 6.5 minutes, so probably not that. But sophomore year, he played 15 minutes, and junior year, he played 12 minutes a game. Took like 3 to 4 shots a night. Like, is that a role?
Brandon Green was timely. Like, he would come in and hit good shots and keep momentum going. Like, he was sick. If he could,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, do we have like a fairly tall wing that, in theory, can shoot the ball and provide that spark, and we know is not very good on defense? Like, could that be a role that he can carve out for himself?
It would be awesome because it does feel like elite teams always have that guy that just comes off the bench and hits 2, 3 threes a game at big moments that just like crush you. So I would love that. We've got to have somebody that can consistently knock down threes. I think DeJuan, it's hard because he's not going to seek out to shoot them, which is annoying, but he is going to shoot at a 35+% rate, you would think. Did he shoot 40% last year? I heard that.
Something crazy. I think the good thing, obviously, for Timberlake is no one has separated themselves at the 2 spot. I know it's 3 games in or whatever, but at practice, I mean, obviously, Bill doesn't trust anyone there at the 2 spot. Furphy, obviously, it's more of like a wing. So it's open. It's up for grabs. I don't know. I guess we'll see later in the season, but I still think he'll play plenty. So did Hunter Dickinson play against Kentucky?
Dude,
we got to talk about that box score from multiple dudes.
We talk about fan bases being psychopaths about Jalon. Hunter Dickinson has already, and I know he's done this at Michigan. I had a Kentucky fan that I know call me after that game, legitimately being like, Hunter Dickinson, that dude's a thug. That guy, I hope he gets hurt. I never wish injury on anyone, but I hope he gets hurt. Like, those people hate Hunter Dickinson so much, and I can't imagine what he's going to do to opposing road fan bases, and one that I'm specifically thinking about in my head in conference play this year. He is such a perfect villain.
UCF?
Yeah. Such a perfect villain for college basketball. And the best part about it is he can't fail playing under Bill Self. I tweeted it after. He was born to play for Bill Self. Bill Self will force feed that man. Bill Self was force feeding David McCormick, who was struggling to catch the ball for half a season. And now he's got Hunter Dickinson. And it worked, by the way. Bill Self was right. McCormick got the last laugh. But like, now Bill Self has one of the better bigs that he's ever going to coach at Kansas. And it's just, I can't wait to see how this all goes, because Hunter Dickinson, B-Turn, I think you've said it, it's a guy you hate if he's not on your team, but you love the shit out of him when he is on your team. And I'm so excited to watch all this happen. And I'm excited to see what he does in Maui.
Yeah, he's a super confident human being. And he's an elite college basketball player. Like, the dude's going to there's going to be multiple nights where he does what he did. I'm not saying 27 and 21, but it's going to be like 25, 30, and 10 or 15. Like, I don't see how there's even going to be a night where he's under double digits scoring wise, because he's going to get the ball. He's going to get force fed. He's going to get to the line. He makes free throws. He'll shoot it 35-40% from three. Like I'm excited to see the numbers he puts up this year under Bill. We said it. It's match made in heaven. Everyone knew. I think Hunter knew it right when he entered the portal. And I want to know what this team would look like without him. Like, would Uday or Zuby have stayed and they play the 5, or would they have had KJ at the 4? I don't know what our view would be on this team compared to getting Hunter or not getting him.
Well, I think you would have had Uday at the 5 for sure, but I think we're like a 10th ranked, 15th ranked team in the country. You add an All-American to your team that's already put up incredible numbers, but now he's going to play for the best coach in the country and play for a guy that just loves to get his pig guys tons and tons of easy, not just touches, but easy looks. Like, that's Bill Self's whole philosophy. It's like, don't give up easy buckets and score and get a bunch of easy looks. Like, he's always been anti fall in love with the 3 because he's just such a believer in let's make layups instead. And so Hunter Dickinson is gonna just it was so funny to see him on the first big stage put up legitimately historic numbers. Like, it's crazy. And we don't have time to like fully recap that game, but it's just insane we even won that game the way Kentucky played.
It would have been more insane if we lost, to be honest. I think I was texting you guys during the game, but we had Hunter Dickinson go 27 and 21. Kevin McCullough get a triple-double, and Dwan Harris go 5 for 6 technically from the three-point line, but one was the shot clock thing.
Well,
so 5 for 5 from 3, 21 points. We almost did.
I know, but those things wouldn't have all happened if we lost. Dwan would have missed a couple threes.
No, but my point is, say Kentucky hits that 3, it was a bad forced 3 with like 8 seconds left. But just imagine if they make that shot and we go into overtime and lose somehow.
Yeah, it was still pretty tight late. I mean,
I'm just saying, if
one,
like 1 or 3,
I think 1-4-3, we were down like 5, right?
So we're down 81-75 at one point.
So yeah, Juan made a 3, and like that game was very close to being very much in Kentucky's control if DeJuan misses that 3. So, and then like it was just awesome to see. Obviously, DeJuan is so clutch, but we were able to get Dickinson the ball, and he drives baseline, makes that little tough. I don't even know, doesn't use the backboard, but that was clutch. So also just exciting to see that he's a guy that I think we can trust to go get a bucket when we need one, hopefully. But
boy, were some of our post-entry passes horrific. There was like 5 we threw off the backboard. We're
going to make one, though. It's going to be absolutely electric when El Marco makes a 3 that he was supposed to be a pass to Hunter. So who did that a couple years ago? I don't know. That's funny, though. But
if he touches it in the paint, but if he touches it in the paint, it's going to be, he's probably either going to get fouled or he's finishing. Like, he's 7'2", and God, he's just such a tough guard because he can get out and shoot threes. So that when people say we don't have shooters, we have a 7'2" guy that's going to average 20 and 10 that can shoot at 40% from 3.
Yeah, that's what's funny. Is our best shooter might be our center. But let's talk Maui real quick. Stacked field. Purdue, number 2 team in the country. Gonzaga's in the field. Tennessee's a top 5 team right now. UCLA, just sneaky hanging out there. Syracuse is in it. Don't think we'll see them, but
you're missing one.
A monster. Oh, Chaminade. Oh, Marquette. Marquette's a top 5. Yeah, I mean,
Tennessee's at 7. Gonzaga's at 11.
That's the other top 5 team. It's a loaded field. One of the best ones we've seen in a while. It would be. I'll tell you what. Not to get dramatic, but if the Hawks win this Maui, they're going to win a zillion games this season.
Yep,
because I think, AB, you've been proven right. Indiana stinks. They got boat raced by UConn. So we can even win this Maui and then lose to UConn.
They're 79th in Ken Palm right now. Indiana.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to get off track. But like this Maui stacked, my main thing is if we do lose in the Maui,
Wait,
what? I thought Mizzou lost like 20 minutes ago.
They did. Nick must have not been listening to my breaking news earlier.
Or maybe the game wasn't over.
No, it was over.
It was over.
If we don't win the Maui,
That's the crazy thing. We could lose twice this weekend. I know, but it wouldn't be that crazy. Like you lose to Marquette and then say Purdue loses to Tennessee and you got Marquette and Purdue back-to-back
I
days.
keep forgetting about like the third place.
Yeah. Like
That has to be.
But again, don't panic if they lose twice because there's just a lot of damn good teams and someone in the top 11 in the country is going to come out of Maui with 2 losses. Like that's just how this tournament works. So could be us, could be someone else. It's certainly possible. I want to get that out on the table.
Yeah. Regardless, they're going to play worse. I mean, they're going to play 2 really good teams. So obviously they're going to be battle tested. If they go to the championship, it's probably going to be an elite game. Like if they lose in the Maui championship, yeah, you want to win, but honestly, who cares? Like it's going to be a fun
We still talk about that Duke game from 12 years ago. Tyler Thornton.
Yeah.
They travel.
I should have had 12 turnovers.
Yeah.
And then
people were
tweeting at him saying that not get on the plane.
The one girl tweeted at him and told him he hoped the plane crashed. That was what he said. I think he said that on our airwaves, so I think it's so I don't know. I want to go look at the odds real quick for Maui. It looks like we are. Where did it go? Did they take them down? They took them down.
So upset.
DraftKings took Maui odds down. Earlier, we were the favorites. I think Tennessee was right there as the second favorites. We were like plus
what a loaded field.
Something. I don't know. If you were a betting man, are you betting on the Hawks to win this? I mean, that's tough. To me, it's just really hard to beat Kentucky and then go potentially beat Purdue or Marquette, Tennessee. That's a tough. I mean, it would be a crazy, crazy impressive start. And like you want to start talking early talk. Our 1 seed resume would be very good at that point. So I don't know. Are you guys
get enough
another one of winning the Maui?
I mean, I'll take KU over anyone in the country right now. I don't know. It's very early college basketball, so I don't know a ton. Obviously, they're ranked high. 80. Marquette was really good last year. They returned a lot. Kolik's back. Tennessee, they gave us a handful last year. Yeah.
Playing Tennessee.
That's Jesus, man. That's a nuts field.
Yeah.
So we said what? 4? That's 4 top 11 teams?
5.
Gonzaga?
Dude, Gonzaga is sitting down there as like a team nobody's even talking about. Gonzaga is going to be good this year.
Always are.
Purdue's 1 and
we got
Kansas 4, Gonzaga 7, Tennessee 9, Marquette 11. That's insane. There's no way the field's ever
coming on 25. They're really good this year. I'm just kidding. But
I got them beating the Hawks 114-63.
I got upset alert UCLA over Marquette.
Yeah, what's UCLA?
Someone's gonna lose.
So what is the funniest like championship game out of this scenario? Like with us, like us versus Syracuse. How funny would that be?
Yeah, it's got to be. The other 3 teams are top 10 teams in the country. Holy shit, man! We got the right side of the bracket though. Maybe
we did. They won us in the title game. They set this bracket up to try really hard to get KU and then either Gonzaga, Purdue, or I can't even remember Tennessee. I can't even remember all the teams. There's so many freaking good teams. It's nuts.
I got Marquette winning it. Just random pick. Marquette wins the Maui Jim Maui. Only if Bill Walton's calling it.
Man.
Udoka. You got to dunk the ball.
We're all like, everyone's sitting out there right now. What a week we have ahead of us.
It's the best on the calendar.
Week off, or you're going to work this week, but you're not going to work very hard. Nobody really cares about their job this week. And you just get to sit there, watch hoops during the day, and you get to enjoy Feast Week from the comfort of your own home. What a week we have ahead of us. But, I feel good. If I had to bet on someone, I would obviously bet on the Hawks. But it's just like with the field, it's so hard to just be like, we're going to win the Maui. Like I just could go.
Can tell you Purdue ain't winning it.
Oh, I got Tennessee.
Purdue's really good in bracket play, though. They've done really well in bracket.
I thought you were serious.
It
feels like that would be a
funny
tough
if Purdue
matchup.
was up with Chaminade and lost to Chaminade, though. But, all right. What'd you say, B-Turn?
I think KU would be a really tough matchup for Purdue. Like I think we would handle them pretty easily. We got a 7-2 guy with Edie. Our guards can smother theirs.
Yeah. I think Tennessee's the team that scares me, or even like Marquette, like Nick mentioned in the chat, they play 5 guards, so they could take Dickinson out of the game, but also Dickinson could score 40 and 25 against them. So we'll see. But should be a fun week. Hopefully, I don't know when, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to promise any other episodes this week. We'll see. But anything else before we wrap up, boys?
Thoughts and prayers with KJ Adams and his family. It's just so sad. I can't imagine ever losing a parent. And especially at his age. So that's so tough, and praying for him, thinking about them. And I know KU fans, like when T-Rob went through his stuff, KU fans are obviously super supportive. So we obviously love KJ. He's a terrific kid, player, and just thinking about them. But yeah, just sad.
Yeah, definitely thinking about him. CJ Moore wrote a great article last year about KJ's mom and everything, so I highly suggest going and reading that because it's awesome. But yeah, feeling for KJ. But that is it. Thank you for listening to this episode. I know we started dark, but we had to. But ending on, basketball season's here. This team's good, so let's enjoy Feast Week, and we'll see you guys next week. Rock Chalk.